Hello and welcome to WhatMap for Cities Skylines, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. There are thousands of items on the workshop now, so finding the right one for your next city build is a huge task. So each day, Monday to Saturday, we'll review some using our 5-star rating and the coveted seal of approval. So join me, fellow Skylines explorers, as we venture out to today's new land. Who am I? I'm BonBonB, and you are very, very welcome.
Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. BonBon here, how you doing? Right, testing, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If you can spot a change to my audible tones, then you would not be far wrong. I finally set up my new microphone and I can finally throw away my old Turtle Beach headset, which was so broken they're literally being held in place on my head with a woolly hat. Still using them for headphones, but I will get rid of them very soon indeed. If you're enjoying my new sounds, then you know what to do. It's time for that daily reminder. That's right, hitting the like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day, so thank you very, very much for your support. Right, today's map is the Waterfronts project by Out of Bullets. It's one of those maps that was released a couple of months ago, never got reviewed, stood out from all the rest of that particular week, and I figured I should definitely get round to reviewing it. Today is that day. There's the start square, 50% water, and then the resources. I'm not entirely sold on them. They do kind of work a bit, but yeah, not for expansion anyway. And then off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, no DLC, that's good news. A couple of trees, network extensions 2. The Just Tropical theme will be using the realistic 1.2 LUT. Fine Road Anarchy isn't a requirement, but it's suggested. I would definitely suggest that one. And the all areas unlockable, I use the 81 tile mod, so that's an option as well. Now we have 4 highway connections at the edge of the map, all going off roughly together. Let me show you. First of all, we've got this double elevated national road in the middle. Then you've got the 4-lane highways on either side of it. So that's 2 of them. Then we've got the national road down at ground level. That's your 3rd connection. And then just on the opposite side of all of these trees, you've got a 4-lane national road. So we've got 4 different options there: elevated, ground level, double elevated and double ground level. It's pretty solid. But the question is, does it really fit with this particular like desert or deserty type island resort? I don't know. And they're all going to come together. And when they all come together, are we going to get a lot of traffic nightmare? And the answer is probably the best thing on this entire map is this particular intersection you're about to see. It's phenomenal. It's not perfect, I'm going to give it that, but it is phenomenal. And a lot of effort has gone into this. I don't know if it might have been plopped. It might have been plopped. I don't know. But what we have here is this. So we have 4 roads coming in, splitting off into 2 different directions, with 2 highways and ground roads and everything coming off of each one. It's mind-blowing. Let me just show you this one. So we've got the 4-lane highway here. We're going to break off here and go down to ground level, down this exit ramp. When we get down to ground level, we're looking for a spot to split through. Now, the biggest problem with this intersection, I think, is where this ramp joins up over on the opposite side of all of these. Come through here, coming through, excuse me, passing through over here, thank you. Yeah, where it connects up with this 4-lane road under there, that is possibly going to cause a little bit of traffic nightmare as the cities expand. I was looking for pillars cutting through into these highways somewhere. There were none. I was looking for trees, I couldn't find any of those either, and there was no streetlight clipping either. So basically, apart from the fact that you've got traffic having to stop, like that truck there, and the vehicles coming up behind it here will have to possibly stop and wait for a gap in the traffic, it's actually not bad. Yeah, I'll say call it a minor flaw, a moderately minor flaw in the entire thing. Anyway, once you've broken out at ground level, you can come out to the start square, which is over here. And as I suggested before, I mean, it's a nice building area. plenty of flat build plane there, except for 50% of the start square is water, and I would suggest that, considering the amount of build plane on the entire map, I'd like to see a little bit more actually in the start square, and possibly a little less somewhere else, you know, if you want to give and take. Anyway, we could go straight on from here, but that's where the rail is going, and we're going to do the rail separately. So we'll go down that route once we have covered this route. So anyway, what we have here is the double elevated national road, the single elevated 4-lane highways, and exit ramps down here to get you down into the ground level for build purposes. And then we have a highway nips off this way that goes down to that end island. We're not going to rush down there now. We'll have a look at that after the intermission, because otherwise it's going to be a silly show, you know. It's not a silly show already. And then down here we've got a bridge across to the end island, and we've got some exit ramps here to get you started in this area as well, making life a little bit easier for you. Don't think the rock work really works, and we've got lots of rock detailing underneath the in the pass there, but it kind of it's better something than nothing, I guess. And speaking of better something than nothing, how about an asset? Yes, it's Saturday, it's the quirky asset of the week, and it's the Art Deco Water Tower by Lee Towers. There's a couple of brand new water towers on the workshop, and I spotted that Biffa on the official Skylines channel had covered the other one, so I figured we'd do this one. If anything, it's slightly more quirky as well. Right, factoids, because factoids. During one of his attacks of insanity, King George III insisted on ending every sentence he uttered with the word peacock. Peacock, of all words. So anyway, yes, this quirky asset is somewhat of a quirky asset, Peacock. It's by Lee Towers Peacock. It's a tower by Towers Peacock. It was, I'll tell you what, that would have got very, very boring very quickly, wouldn't it? Very irritating. Yes, my lord. Peacock. No more peacocks in today's show, I promise. Unless there's one actually in the map, in which case peacock. Okay, let's have a look at the rail. The rail comes in from down the side of the highways here. We've got one branch line that nips off there and stops dead, so we'll follow the main line this way. One grumble is, do you actually... we've got no gates covering this crossing. Maybe there's not gates for this particular road, I don't know. All the others have got gates. I don't think it's an anarchy thing, that one. I just think, do the 4-lane roads actually have gates? I don't know. They should do. I can understand why the highways don't. That would make all sorts of sense. But anyway, that nips off under there, and that's high enough. But we're going to go this way. We're going to go this way. Make sure there's anything silly going on. Over here, we have got lots of encroaching foliage. Lots of encroaching foliage there, and yeah, we have crossing controls there. So I'm happy that they should be. This bridge is not the worst, but it's not great. It's too steep for my liking, but it could have been much steeper. Has to go up double layer to get over those. I would rather it had gone down and under, to be honest with you. And then cross one there as well, off to the end of the rail there. Shall we have a little look at? Yeah, we had this one peeled off here and went underneath the highways. Let's just go and have a look here. We got more encroaching foliage there as well. It's going to be a bit of an issue because I really like that first intersection, but we have got some encroaching foliage here and there. Does one balance out the other? Possibly, probably. Got quite a bit of encroaching foliage actually along here. I might have to change my score. Oh, it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. Anyway, we are now following the rail across the bottom of the start square and up to this location here, which means it's time for that intermission. I'll catch you on the other side.
Are you confused by all those buttons running along the top and bottom of the screen? And what was that icon for again? Does anyone know? Then you need BonBonB's Beginner's Guide to the User Interface. Click the information button now.
And we are back to the Waterfronts project by Out of Bullets and shipping routes. Well, we have a couple, right? Not one, but two. This first one is a little bit mundane. We'll follow it anyway. As you'll see, it just skirts the edge of the island and goes off right into the corner. Alongside that, though, we have this one comes along, and this one comes up here, goes between a couple of the islands and splits. Okay, we are going to go left. Make a note, left. There's somebody who's tracking this, I know there is. Then we go through this bridge. Now, is the bridge high enough, and are the rocks deep enough? I don't know either way. I don't think the rocks are more aesthetic than anything. I don't think they'll affect any shipping, but I don't think aesthetically it looks great. Oh, look, here's a ship coming. If we rush round, we might get back to that bridge before he reaches there. And another one, is that high enough? Don't know. Do not know. It might be close. Anyway, that follows off to the edge. So let's have a quick look here at this ship making its way through. Ooh, it's possibly almost high. It's almost high enough, but then we've got the pillar as well that is causing an issue too. So it's nearly there. Very, very nearly there. Just needs to elevate a fraction more. Anyway, water flow. We've got very little at the start square. The only water flow on the entire map is the edge of map water pressure pushing inwards, and that is definitely going to be a problem unless you're using custom assets, of course. Now, overall, I think the map is almost an interesting design. I find the island shapes just a little bit cloud-like, you know, a little bit blobby rather than island shaped. So I'd like to see a little bit more aesthetic design. This is most interesting along. It's not quite a BonBonB island. There's not quite enough grass on there for me to be able to settle down and move in. So not a BonBonB island. This island here is a lot. I mean, there's a lot of build space. Don't get me wrong. There is a lot of build locations. Come around here. You've got all these rock formations that don't really make any sense here at all. But once again, it adds a little bit of interest, and for that I am thankful. Lots of build location. When we get down to the end here, we have something quite interesting, and that is a road type layout, almost Peacock like. Almost. And it's an interesting layout. Almost, I would say, it's sort of got a Dubai feel to it. Not quite though. I mean, there's footpaths and trenches, but aesthetically, it adds a spot of interest. We've got a lot of these abandoned jetties around here, which don't really do anything for me like this, but I can see why they're being used. Then we've got the Essential Lighthouse, which is fine. It's the Essential Lighthouse. Yeah, it kind of meets up with the path, sort of. And do I buy into its location? How about this rocky outcrop over here on this island? Now, this is closer to a BonBonB island. This is where you want an Essential Lighthouse, around there. Shall we? We're going to do it. We are going to do it. Just for fun. This obviously won't be a change if you decide to go for the map yourself. You'll have to do this work yourself. And this isn't, I'm just doing a silly job here. Silly job. There you go. Just going to plop that there. No detailing work. Just plop it there. There you go. That makes a bit more sense. A little bit more tweaking, and that looked really nice there. So anyway, that's an improvement. I think. What we got? This is the secondary island. Oh, the secondary island. See a ship coming over there as well. We've got an abandoned village over here, which apparently is where Charlie Bucket used to live. We've got one. We've got 2, 3, 4, 5. One underwater there. 5 sunken ships, just for fun. But yes, an abandoned village with footpaths for roads. I'm okay with that. It adds a bit of interest again. And we've got, are you ready for it? Everybody's favourite lighthouse. Sorry. Yeah. And now, this footpath here, I would prefer that to actually join up with the lighthouse. But if you can do that, why not join it right the way up? Something like that. I mean, it's once again not perfect. I'm not entirely happy with the result, but the way that it changes the concrete for that last stretch, it might as well be useful for something. And we're going to get back to this just in time for this ship. Oh, do you know what? This show is going so slick. I am entirely blaming the microphone for the slickness of today's show. Is this high enough? Is that pillar in the way? Oh, I think we got the same thing as last time. It might just be almost high enough, and the pillar is in the way. So another detailing flaw there. Yeah, it kind of makes my mind up, I think, on the score that I'm going to give for the map. It was so close. It was so close to a slightly higher score, but never mind. One last thing I want to point out are the beaches. If we go into terrain view here, the beaches are 20 meters high. Look how high the sand comes. 20 meters. Think about that. Think about how was that, a 3-story building? That's a lot of height of sand there. Then we come around here. For some reason, right here, it drops down to 10 meters before going back up to 20 meters. So I'd like to see it slightly. I mean, great if you want to. If you play in natural disasters and you've got tsunamis, I will get the tsunamis. If you've got tsunamis coming, that would be better than flatter beaches. But anyway. Right, your chance to vote on this map. Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Spot the traffic as well, starting to slow down and build up here also, as pointed out earlier. Yeah, your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the best 10 maps of the month? Only one way to find out, and that is, well, 2 ways. Ask somebody to tell you, but more realistically, vote and watch yourself. Anyway, aesthetically, I'm not offended by this map, but it doesn't do anything for me either. It's about as 3-star as they come. Detailing, I had this penciled in for 3 stars. I did, but the more I narrated over this, the more I realised that there's just too many little things that need fixing. So I've got to drop it down to 2 stars for detailing. It's a shame because I love this intersection. This intersection's 4 stars on its own. Gameplay potential, it's playable. The water flow could be an issue. Loads of build plane, not inspired to want to play it, but it's kind of set to go. 3 stars for gameplay. That's it. So the Waterfronts project by Out of Bullets. I don't feel that the whole thing comes together as a complete package, like it's all set for a massively grid city build on what is basically a tropical island. It's I don't know, make sense of it, but it's playable. It's okay. Just a few grumbles. Where were we? Oh yes, end of show. Thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking and for subscribing. Let me know in the comments what you're making of my new voice and whether or not I should switch back to my old mic before I throw the old mic in the bin, because I will be doing that. And I'll see you tomorrow for stuff. Shall we do some stuff? We'll do some stuff.